Okay, so let's start with the cover. Man, I don't even know where to start. The cover, if you haven't seen it, it's linked on our promo for tonight. We were all kind of trying to guess what would be on the cover the day before it was released. And I know, Crystal, I feel like you really pegged it because you said that it would be Katniss and Finnick, right?
Yeah, I said Katniss and Finnick, and I think I said they'd be standing back to back, but I was wrong on that part.
So let's just go around the room and see what everyone thinks about this cover. Courtney, let's start with you. What was your immediate reaction to the cover?
My first reaction to the cover was literally, "Holy crap, Crystal was right." and I was glad that they were wearing their arena outfits because then I could share these to everyone and not feel guilty. Because they're on, it's on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. Okay, I can put that out. It's not like paparazzi photos. I'm kind of amused at the tagline, Katniss and Finnick go to war. Questionable title, but I was like, okay. But also very excited that they have Finnick's trident. I was like, yes, so cool. And those are my thoughts.
Tiffany, what about you? Were you equally as excited?
Yeah, I was at work, and I knew it was coming, so I was on break and, frantically trying to get them on my phone. I was so excited for them, and all my coworkers who went on break with me were, side-eyeing me the whole time. But, yeah, and I was showing them off like they were, pictures of my child or something like that. Here, look at this.
Fun.
Yeah, so I was really excited, and I really liked what they did with it, showing Finnick for the first time on the cover. That was great.
Yeah, a lot of people were, pissed off that they didn't show PETA, but, I think it makes more sense just from a marketing standpoint to introduce one of the new major characters. It just makes it more compelling, I think, for people who aren't really familiar with the books or people who haven't been following, pre-production and production of the movie. We've seen PETA before. Let's, throw another attractive male on there. I want to mention, I didn't just notice, but it took me a while to notice the background of the image. I was so focused on Katniss and Finnick that I didn't really look at the background, but the background is just amazing. It's this stormy sky and a churning ocean on fire. How cool is that? Shylah, how do you feel? Are you satisfied with this first look at Catching Fire?
I am. I am in love with this cover. I love the way Jennifer Lawrence looks as Katniss. She looks determined and a lot harder than I think she did in the first EW covers and the first movie. I think she looks very resolute. And I agree with Sam and as Finnick. I had to remember who that was because I'm so used to just calling him Finnick. On the cover, I've seen a lot of people, again, complaining about maybe EW or Lionsgate trying to set him up as, or deceiving fans that he's a love interest. And I think that's really spot on with Finnick. We get a lot of Katniss's internal monologue in the book about, who Finnick is and his history as a victor and the rumors and things. But I think on film he's really got to come off as aggressive and a little bit sleazy at first. So between this and the still we got of them, it looks like that's going to be the image that we get, and I think that's really important for if it happens in this movie or in Mockingjay Part 1 when we get that flip with his personal life and finding out about Annie. So I love that they're starting to build him up because he is really important, and it's important to get to know him as a victor first, get to know his public persona first, and I'm glad that's what the world is getting.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that a lot of hardcore fans forget that, unfortunately, there are millions of fans out there who have not read the book. They've just seen the movie, which, obviously everyone should read the books, but I like the idea of them presenting him in this way for the reasons that you just laid out. I think he does need to kind of be mysterious in that sense, so that when all of the Annie stuff comes out, it's more, poignant and impactful.
I mean, if you think about it, like, if we were the Capitol, like, wouldn't there be this large faction of people who are not PETA Katniss shippers who see, like, Finnick returning for Hunger Games All-Stars and are like, oh, my gosh, I totally ship Katniss and Finnick. I need to see this happen right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Crystal, what are your thoughts on the cover? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I was really happy that we even got a cover. But I guess after that initial excitement, I was kind of like, what's up with Finnick's hair? I mean, he looked like he just got out of bed, and he looked kind of, like, confused and everything, like he just woken up and stuff like that. I was like, why did they pick that photo of him? But I expected him to be on the cover because there was such a huge fuss over his casting. So I figured, everybody wants to know, wants to see the first picture of him. I mean, we also looked at photos, but, the first official picture. So I thought that had to be it. And so I was really surprised when everybody started freaking out about lack of PETA, I mean, I saw people saying stuff like, oh, my God, they're writing PETA out and they're going to focus on Katniss and Finnick and stuff like that. And I was just like, what? Did we read different books? But, I mean, after a while I thought about, why his hair looks like that, and it's because he's in the arena. So, I live in Hawaii, so I know what people look like when they've been living by the ocean and the wind is blowing through their hair all the time, and that's what it looks like. So it's realistic. That's his arena hair. That's what I'm telling myself now.
I mean, you do, plus you have to remember, too, that on, I feel like Entertainment Weekly's covers are usually very, photoshopped and stuff, so, they look like this, but they might not look exactly like this in the film. I mean, her hair looks like it's been groomed to death and hairsprayed. So
yeah, I mean, I'm a lot happier with, the picture of him in the magazine, the still of him. I thought that was worlds better. But, I mean, they have to have a different look for the cover. They have to be looking at you, so.
Right. I was just going to say before we get to Natalie, I was a little bit disappointed, not because I don't like the cover, but because selfishly I was hoping to see something we hadn't yet seen. But because of all of those paparazzi set photos, I had already seen Sam Claflin and Jennifer Lawrence in these outfits. I had already seen the trident and, her quiver or whatever. So I was a little bummed just because I had already seen this stuff. But, I do really like the cover. And like I said, I think the background is just awesome.
And the training outfits weren't you, right? In the still. I mean, even the training outfits, we saw those too, so that wasn't a surprise.
I know. I know. But at least they're, acting in the still, you know what I mean? They're in character. And on the cover, they're kind of just standing there, but, whatever. Natalie, do you love the cover?
I think the cover is really cool. I was, it was the kind of thing where I was really excited. And I love that, I don't know, I mean, I didn't really have a problem with the paparazzi photos, mostly because I was still at Crushable at the time, and that was how, you get your week's quota of page views if you could just stay on top of, oh, yeah, paparazzi photos, and we put them up, and we did have fun analyzing them. So I guess, as a reporter, I thought it was pretty fun. At the same time, it was, I don't know, seeing the cover, I loved that, there was still a lead-up, and it didn't get leaked, and, even though, yeah, we saw the outfits and the trident, it still felt like the first official view. I told everyone, this is the first official thing, even though for weeks we'd been seeing stuff. And so that bit of surprise, the fact they kept that presentation of it a surprise was so cool, but I was definitely a lot more excited about the stills. And I was just reviewing the whole group of them that EW put up, Philip Seymour Hoffman as Plutarch Heavensby. That's so great. And, his outfit is just how I'd imagine. And then, the shot of Finnick trying to break Katniss's concentration, that had so much more personality for me than the cover. And obviously they can't put that kind of thing on the cover, but so that's what I was more excited about. And it's the second shot that got me a lot more excited about Sam Claflin as Finnick. I mean, I'm still reserving total judgment for the movie, but I could see a lot more of the character in that kind of shot.